please. My baby is hungry and I have nowhere else to turn." The text was meant for her sister. Instead, it landed in the hands of a man who could buy 1,000 grocery stores without checking his bank balance. Claire Torres sat on the cracked linoleum floor of her studio apartment, her 8-month-old daughter crying in her arms. Rent was overdue. The formula was gone. Her phone, a scratched, outdated model, showed $17 in her account. She scrolled to her sister's contact. Her fingers trembled as she typed, "Sarah, I know I already asked, but Emma needs formula. Just $40. I'll pay you back Friday. Please." She hit send, but her sister's number had changed last month, and Claire, exhausted from double shifts at the diner, hadn't updated it. The text went to a number 1 digit off, a number that belonged to Charles Phillip Mill. Charles was in the back of his Rolls-Royce, scrolling through acquisition reports when the text arrived. He stared at it. His assistant leaned forward. "Sir, someone just asked me for baby formula money." "A scam, probably. I'll block the number." But Charles didn't hand over the phone. Something about the message, raw, unpolished, desperate, felt real. He typed back, "How much do you need?" Claire's phone buzzed. She frowned at the response. Sarah never asked questions. She just said yes or no. She replied, $40. "I'm so sorry. I hate asking." 3 seconds later, her phone buzzed again. "Check your account." Claire opened her banking app. Balance, $5,017. She dropped the phone. Claire's hands shook as she called the number back. A deep, controlled voice answered, "Yes." I think you made a mistake. You sent me $5,000. "I don't make mistakes." "But I only needed 40. I don't even know who you are." "Consider it handled. Buy what you need." "I can't accept this. I'm not a charity case." Charles leaned back in his seat, intrigued. "Then pay me back. $1 at a time if you have to. But tonight, feed your daughter." Charles couldn't stop thinking about her. He had his team trace the number. Within an hour, he knew everything. Claire Torres, 28, single mother, 2 jobs, eviction notice pending, nursing degree abandoned after her ex disappeared. He told himself it was due diligence. That's what he did. He researched investments. But this wasn't an investment. This was something else. A week later, Claire was working the lunch shift at Bluebell Diner when a man in a charcoal suit walked in. He looked like he'd wandered off a magazine cover. He sat in her section. "What can I get you?" Claire asked, wiping her hands on her apron. "Coffee. Black." He looked up. And an explanation. Her stomach dropped. She recognized the voice. "You." Charles smiled, cold, sharp. "You didn't return the money." "I tried. I called. You didn't answer. So you kept it." "I needed it. My daughter needed it." Her voice hardened. "If you came here to humiliate me, get it over with." Charles tilted his head. "I came to make you an offer." They sat in a booth away from the other customers. "You need money," Charles said. I need something too. What could I possibly have that you need? Perception. My board thinks I'm a robot. My investors think I'm a ruthless machine. It's hurting a merger I've spent 3 years building. Claire crossed her arms. So? So, I need someone real. Someone who doesn't come from my world. Someone who can make me look human. You want me to fake date you. I want you to be seen with me. 6 months. Public appearances. Charity events. In return, I'll cover your rent, your bills, your daughter's needs. And when it's over, I'll pay off your student loans. Claire's breath caught. Why me? Because you didn't treat me like a bank account. You treated me like a person who made a mistake. She stared at him. This is insane. It's a transaction. I'm very good at those. She thought of Emma, of the eviction notice, of the nursing degree she'd abandoned. 6 months? 6 months. She shook his hand. What Claire didn't know was Charles's ex-fiancée, Victoria Kane, was the head of the board opposing the merger. And when she saw the first photo of Charles and Claire together, laughing at a gallery opening, his hand on the small of her back, she smiled. Find out everything about her, Victoria told her assistant, and I mean everything. If you believe people like Victoria, who use power to destroy others, should never win, hit that subscribe button. Because trust me, she's just getting started. Weeks passed. What started as a performance became something else. Charles showed up at Claire's apartment with groceries. He held Emma while Claire showered. He asked about her dreams, not her needs, her dreams. And Claire, she saw past the headlines. She saw the man who worked 18-hour days because his father told him he'd never be enough, who built an empire to prove his worth and lost himself in the process. One night after a gala, Charles drove her home. You don't have to walk me up, Claire said. I want to. At her door, he hesitated. I haven't felt this in years. Felt what? Like I matter. Not my money. Me. She kissed him. It was soft, terrifying, real. Victoria moved fast. She leaked a story. Billionaire's fake girlfriend, single mom scamming her way to fortune. The article included Claire's old eviction notice, her texts begging for money, screenshots of her bank account before and after. It painted her as a gold digger. Charles' board called an emergency meeting. The merger was collapsing. And Claire? She found out from a stranger on the street who called her a leech. Claire stormed into Charles's office. You knew this would happen. You knew they'd come after me. I'm handling it. I don't need you to handle it. I need you to tell me the truth. Was I ever real to you, or was I just another deal? Charles stood, his jaw tight. You were never a deal. Then why does it feel like I'm the one paying the price? Before he could answer, his assistant burst in. Sir, Victoria just called the press. She's claiming Claire took bribes to manipulate you. The SEC is opening an investigation. Claire's face went pale. What? Charles's eyes darkened. She's trying to bury us both. Charles made a choice. He stood in front of his board, in front of the cameras, in front of the world. Claire Torres didn't manipulate me. I manipulated her. I offered her a deal because I was too much of a coward to risk anything real. But she gave me something I didn't deserve: honesty. If you want to destroy someone, destroy me. Leave her out of it. The room erupted. Victoria's face twisted with rage, and Claire, watching from her apartment, felt something crack open inside her chest. Claire showed up at his penthouse that night. You didn't have to do that. Yes, I did. You just tanked your own merger. Charles stepped closer. I don't care about the merger. I care about you. Why? Because you made me remember what it feels like to be human. She kissed him harder this time, desperate and fierce. I'm not leaving, she whispered against his mouth. Good, because I'm not letting you go. The next morning, Charles's phone rang. It was his head attorney. Sir, you need to see this. Victoria didn't just leak the story. She's been embezzling from the company for 2 years. We have proof. Charles's eyes widened. How? Someone sent us an anonymous file. Every transaction, every lie. The email address, clairewalden895@gmail.com. Claire looked at him from across the room, a slight smile on her lips. You? He breathed. She shrugged. I used to be really good with numbers. Thought I'd put that nursing school brain to use. Charles laughed, really laughed, for the first time in years. But then his phone buzzed again. A new message. From Victoria. You think you've won? I know what you did in Singapore. And if you don't back off, the whole world will too. Charles's face went white. Claire took his hand. What happened in Singapore? He looked at her, his voice barely a whisper. Something I buried. Something that could destroy everything. If you believe secrets like Charles's deserve to see the light, and people like him deserve a second chance, subscribe now. Because this story, it's only just beginning.